A Scottish newspaper has named the footballer at the centre of this weekend's escalating privacy storm concerning his alleged affair with the model Imogen Thomas. But while people in Scotland can read all about it, people in England and Wales risk jail. Today it emerged that a journalist who appears to have broken another injunction could face prosecution. Our Home Affairs correspondent Andy Davis has more.
At the bottom it says, "The madness of privacy laws." Above it, a photograph which, for anyone in Scotland, would only have contained the most minimal of distortion. Just a thin, black, censored line across the eyes. The rest of the photograph was published clear. This, the moment a British newspaper broke ranks and effectively revealed the identity of the Premiership footballer who had a relationship allegedly with Imogen Thomas, the former Big Brother contestant.
Well, it is something that everybody's interested in. It's not a story in our newspaper about the allegations or about the substance of the allegations or whether or not they're true, which is not relevant to the issues which we believe are raised by this. So those aren't the issues we're looking at. We are looking at the issue of free speech. We are looking at the issue of newspapers being prevented from publishing information which our readers can access, as I say, very, very easily.
Privacy injunctions granted here in London apply only to England and Wales. As long as the Sunday Herald ensures today's paper doesn't drift across the border, its position appears secure. It is a dramatic development which could trigger a renewed media campaign to get this hugely controversial privacy injunction dismissed.
The fact that the football has now been named within Great Britain will be used by the English newspapers as a reason that the court should not allow the order to continue because its purpose is past. The remedy for the footballer, they will argue, is now in substantial damages rather than an injunction, and there is legal precedent for that.
But don't expect the footballers' lawyers to back down. They've already launched a legal action in relation to the social networking site Twitter, trying to elicit information about those who've purportedly named the footballer online. Twitter users are still defiantly and repeatedly naming him, as are others in the online media world. 2 days ago, here at the High Court, a very senior judge made a fascinating comment about the role of online media in this whole privacy debate. Breaching court orders on the internet did make enforcing privacy injunctions difficult, he said. But it by no means represented the same degree of intrusion into privacy as, say, a story emblazoned on the front page of a newspaper, such as we've seen in Scotland today. But does that perhaps underestimate just how influential some of these social networking sites have now become? We asked 37 people today, chosen randomly in central London, if they thought they knew the identity of this footballer. 14, more than a third, picked the same name which appeared in the Sunday Herald today, and most cited Twitter as the source. Do you know the name of this Premiership footballer?
Yes. I think it's...
How do you think that? What's your source of information?
Some friends who look at Twitter and stuff.
And how do you think you know that?
Twitter?
I know. Yeah. What do you think is the name? And how do you know that?
Well, you just sort of go on Twitter when it's on the news, and it's already this whole thing about super-injunctions sort of makes it even more funnier because it makes you curious.
Do you know the name of the Premiership footballer at the centre of this injunction row?
Yeah.
I'll have to say as well then. Ask him, he might say something different.
No.
No, I've heard, we were talking about it last night with my friend, but I haven't heard.
Do you know the name of the alleged Premiership footballer at the centre of the injunction row?
No idea. Couldn't care less.
And now a further twist in this increasingly high-octane debate over the balance to an individual's right to privacy versus freedom of expression. Lawyers reportedly want the Attorney General now to investigate an alleged breach by a journalist of another court order involving another footballer.